All right, folks, this is another War of Rights Eye in the Sky one. This should be a great one. We are on the 500-man test server. We've been up around 430, 440 or so. We had an absolutely nail-biter of a round on the previous map. I didn't record, but it was very close. Union defense win. It was very nicely done. It is something of a who's who here of pub commanders. We have new folks coming on all the time, but it looks like for the CSA it's Pieman, Joseph D. I'm not familiar with the Frybug, or Simple Joe. But on the Union side, I noticed a lot more names. Agrippa, it's been a few months. Napoleon, Dawes, Cornwallis. Yeah, it should be a heck of a map. These are, I think these are, I don't know if these are still the Union drill camp or what these are, but again, it's called the Pat's Turnpike. And we should see how it goes. Again, the previous map, the Union Camp one, I'm not sure what the bias is on it. I hadn't played the new maps all that much, so who knows. On artillery, it's still early, but we'll see. We only have 2 for the CSA. Nope, that's not right. We have 2 different batteries. These multiple batteries, it seems very common on the new maps. It looks like the Union on defense have an advantage. So CSA seem to be moving off to their left. My guess would be to use the screen of the forest to give them some concealment, maybe some cover as they advance, try to get close, do 50-50 casualties, lean on their ticket advantage, and go from there. Dawes looks like he's leading the vanguard. Got a little bit of a serenade to help us out. What is this? So in the last map on the Union Camp one, it was nice because I got to see the new scoped.
There's so much pressure on this hill that we're fucking dead.
Green jackets, the best uniforms in the game.
Sprint now, gentlemen, sprint.
Yeah, that's kind of important because if all the CSAs here are only part of the Union, as a tripwire, the tripwire might get run over. That is definitely a sound pad, because we have just started here. And while as a caster you never love it in the woods, we're still getting a modest 45 frames here. You understand why they do it. It's smart, makes it easier rather than attacking over an open field. Looks like we got the Zouaves out there. We have another Union company. I'm not sure who they were standing off against, who they were worried about. I'm not sure. This looks like one of those rolling plowed fields there that are going to make use of the deflate and maybe not much else. I'd be shocked if the Union won that. But it nonetheless appears that way. I thought the CSA fully sent over here. Maybe they're just trying to embed themselves and they'll push later. So the Zouaves came around here. I admire the effort. Get that flag up. CSA, oh, they have some folks standing back here.
Shoot if they come up, make them pay for coming up that fucking hill. Amos, those you can't through that fence. Amos, those you can't through that fence. Amos, those you can't without hitting the ground, otherwise you're just gonna shoot right over the heads.
I don't know. I think the CSA has the inside track. If they wanted to press this attack, they might have been able to get a wipe in the woods and get out before the supporting charge by the other 2 Union groups. It's pretty even so far. And for the CSA as the attackers, you got to be happy with the early ticket burn rate, the all-important drummer. So if your unit ever is concealed in the woods, they'll let the enemy know where they are.
Somebody kill him! Somebody kill him!
Yeah, not being too familiar with who the pub officers are. I'm just going with the oldies that I know. I think the experience advantage is certainly to the Union was on the right side, the Union on the right side. Union who is defending. And I think several of those guys led on the previous map, or at least they were present. I believe Arthur also had a company on the Union defense map on Union Camp. And he actually led the round-winning charge at the end. Send those sharpshooters into the melee. Dawes looks like he's getting reinforced. I think this was his force. No, it's just a D over there. Wait a minute, he was on the CSA. He still is on the CSA. I think that's the CSA wrapping on this side, right? Yeah. Well, there's really, it's so hard to see anything. This is just point blank stuff.
Get your ass in this line.
Definitely sounds like Dawes.
If low levels are giving orders, do not listen to them, damn it, because they're gonna throw the game. Get behind the rocks, gentlemen. We're the only ones that up engaged in the. And it shows y'all gotta wake up, man. Fall back. Get back, move back.
Always better to fall back than get wiped. Yeah. It's always true, but I don't know if they got out in time. They're trying to get both flags out. Pie Man's back in, so he usually knows how to corral him, but having lost that, I would be on my tiptoes. I'd actually be on my left alt key if I were these guys. We'll see how far the Union pursues that CSA group and what their boundaries are. If they really got a good wipe, why is the Union flag running into that? Yeah, that dude is either very confused or is throwing on purpose. It matters not. Those kind of antics aren't
Don't tell
gonna
me
help.
friendlies are wiped. Dude, if friendlies are wiped, I'm gonna fucking tweet.
Well, they're not. They're not. But I don't think your back is too well covered. I think this is mostly Union. And you got some Union defenders up there, but the CSA formed their line.
Hey, ship left on me.
Okay, and so they at least got, yeah, oh, okay, good. I mean, this is the smart play. When you get the threat out that's in front of you, and they're back trying to get healthy, what you can do is you can pour that enfilade fire out. Let's see if it's actually having an effect. Yeah, it's having, it's having an effect. I mean, look at that. What is that, 40, 50 yards? Dude, they're not missing. Well, that Union lines looks like they're about to get charged at. But I don't know if they know that yet. But yeah, that is exactly how you do it.
Jesus fuck. Yeah, these friendlies need to fucking
Yeah. But whether that was Napoleon's group, Dawes's, or someone else, they did it exactly right. Push the enemy off and then pour it on whoever's left. No, Dawes's group is back in here. I don't know which Union group had their flag Rambo'd off. It's so hard to see anything. I could I could do you a favor and I could take you out of here, but look at this, 386. I don't know, this is a good map. This is from my limited experience playing. It seems fairly small. I mean, I know it's called a Turnpike, but I guess it's almost like Hagerstown in the sense that it's kind of this strip, right? CSA spawned over there as the attackers, Union spawned over here as the defenders, and it's kind of you go through the woods, or you go through the field, or you march down the Turnpike. But this is, I assume, where the CSA wants to be, pushing up. They're even ticket levels, and they have the defenders in engaged well before 27 minutes. So, considering the CSA got pushed back pretty heavily, and then got enfiladed after that, the fact that they're even on tickets is probably a very good thing. So I see Joseph D's Confederates all the way over here. I think they're still squaring off against... I think this was Daz's unit that was on the far CSA left, Union right. Their flag is up. I don't know who's leading over here now. And now are both these sides leaderless, or did they just not follow officer orders? And we see a couple of the Santa hats. All right, so it looks like the Union is now charging, not countercharging. As the defenders, when they're charging, I always think it's a countercharge, but I think the CSA was happy to stand pat and shoot. I wonder if the CSA pulled out of here, if the Union really won that shootout.
They seem to be unable to like fucking.
We have all 4 CSA flags here, and 3 of the officers. And that looks like another infantry officer. So I'm not sure what this is. I should recall it. If who gets the new scopes? I know it's like NCOs, and I think it's sergeant majors, and one of the other ranks of a select few units. I don't know if another sharpshooters are getting or not. I think palmetto sharpshooters are on Hill's counterattack. I thought they were. And I'm pretty sure some of them had Whitworths. I think they're also... no. I don't know if they're on Prime Mill. I remember playing with people who are in the palmetto sharpshooters, but I don't know if that's actually...
To the right of big, right to the right of big,
the Union has their concave of sorts. They also have the spread line. They're in loose formation. Have they knocked off any of these guys? No. Alright. And I guess they either thought better of it, or the artillery moved them for them. But there ain't too much left there. Feels like slowly but surely the CSA is whittling them away.
I did not know that. That was a perfect canister.
Yeah, I was thinking if you got canistered in the flank, even when you're in loose formation, as long as you aim it high enough, you should be able to do a fair amount of damage. Not sure what the ballistics are on canister anymore.
Alright, gents, hold fire, they're gonna push
range.
up here. Hold fire, wait for them to push up, wait for them to push up. Hold.
Huh? Eh?
Let him do it again. I think this is the one we had.
God damn, I never...
Union already positioned. Is this for real? They rolled the guns up here? It's pretty sweet.
Perfect.
Oh, Grip is not leading the infantry. I mean, you can't argue with the sight lines, right?
Excellent.
And how well protected you ought to be.
These are perfect. What was your elevation? Okay, walk it down.
You can see that Union Arty's 2 and 3 manning the guns. It looks good.
0.5.
This is the ambience.
Still is like you guys are clearing the ridge. The third shot was perfect. I wouldn't adjust anything. But you other two,
Alright.
you could probably just walk it down hundredths of a decimal.
I wonder if they had to walk it back there. Probably. Because you see the fixed caissons with nothing in front of them, and presumably that's where it came from. I ain't too sure about these. I wonder if you'd be better off just rolling ammo up to the other guys. So it's a late game play. Or building yourself a little caisson for it, as long as you're sure you're not gonna. But I don't think those are ever worth the time. I could say that having tried it many times. But that close to the wood line, right? Points back here. You don't want to lose it that close to point, because the other side could really turn that against you and use it as a staging ground and just dash the last 100 yards or so to cap the point. Alright, so the Union is taking one group out here. I assume to use the cover of the defilade and some of the concealment of this tree. Yeah, they're getting their digital cardio in. I can't say too much else positive about that, but unless they were trying to chase off some skirmishers there. The only thing I wonder about is whether this is being a little too passive on the side of the CSA. But again, it's a good ticket burn rate, and it's a pretty good ratio as the attackers. You're slightly ahead, but you're not so far ahead that it's necessarily obvious the defenders would want to play cap, recap. Alright, so we got 2 Union groups here. Man, it's got to be point blank. Yeah, so I guess cap is right around that point of the Turnpike. If you really get wiped out of there, I think it's going to be hard to take it back. It's a bigger problem for the defenders. Maybe those guys... Did they hear my call? Do the late game artillery restock to just keep those things humming? But the Union's about to go taking losses. 26 minutes or so. They just don't have that much cover on this. It's...
To the fire order unless I give it. Hold your damn fire.
Looks like the CSA and the Union are about to have a meeting. This is probably just entirely unwatchable. Let's go watch it from the arty angle. Let's go watch grip his batteries. They seem to have been doing some work. Probably took them some time to get back here. Yeah, they're getting a little low on Napoleon ammo. Other ammo stocks are good. It's the Napoleon which already comes with less ammo, and so it makes sense that they'd be a little harder up for it. Yeah, they're just plinking away at that CSA mob there on the crest of that hill. Yeah, those guys they must be having a field day.
Shooting at them now, charging into the woods.
I don't really know what the point of sighting a battery here, unless it's historical. But I don't think it's supposed to be historical because I'm pretty sure that these aren't actually part of the battles of Antietam, even of the South Mountain part. I think it's just using, I thought it was just using basically assets that are already in the game, in the drill camps, but then allowing them to be used in battle. I mean, I know that people are using it, but it's like, canister I would kind of get. That might just kill people as the shell flies through them, but I don't know. It's kind of the way I feel about artillery on. Is it just this one group that's out here? On Cook's countercharge, right? It's already hard enough for the Union. If we can't fix the tickets, let's move the artillery back and make it usable. Probably just be easier for the Union and Cooks. It's still not going to probably be winnable if they just got rid of the artillery, because you have too many geniuses who continue to respawn in it, and some CSA guys will just stay outside so the Union can spawn on the artillery, and then as soon as they do, they get killed out of line. It just makes a nearly impossible situation almost possible.
My company back off. My company B, we gotta back off a bit. Company B, just back up a bit.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
On my new line. Company B, come here. Fire, guns. Company B.
The way out
On the new line. Yep.
for the Union is probably this slow delaying action. You know, they're going to be trading tickets for time, but if they're going to have a chance to win, eventually they're probably going to have to go for cap recap. And they're getting somewhat close to the point where they got to make that call and they got to pull back. And then they're going to have to lean on their artillery to soften up this area if the CSA comes in and caps it. I don't know. There are a lot of new players on the server. Right, these 500-man test servers, I think, coincided with an opening, a sale of the game. And I've noticed a lot of single digits here. We're up to 420, so good numbers. But I think down a third of the morale stage with 21 minutes.
I swear to God.
I would usually want defenders at taking loss with at least 17 minutes. So the fact that they're almost halfway through, 20 minutes left. I mean, CSA is doing well. And that they're ahead of the Union is very helpful. I would just get very nervous because now you're at this point as the Union gunners. You may lose any sort of infantry support on your right. They're able to creep up very closely, and they're going to start picking you off out of formation. So either just let those guns recoil and don't reset them, or earlier on in the map, move them back.
No, that is not 300 yards. Just around like, not even 100. I would say 100.
It's probably
Yeah, I would say 100. Yeah, just give it the chest. Give it the chest.
Is there an actual melee going on back here? Oh, there's one CSA guy who's just hanging out back there. Huh. What? Oh, are they just... Are those Union... No, CSA, they're just sniping, I guess, the RD officers and such when they spawn in. It's pretty good shooting. And I guess they're expecting some sort of melee because they have their bayonets on. And Union doesn't care enough to come over and farm their tickets. One of them dudes dropped the flag. I'm not usually an advocate of skirmishing. I think it's the one thing that can be done really well, but it's usually not done well. Oh, there are two Napoleon? Oh, I did not see that ammo. It looked a lot thinner before, so that Napoleon is fine.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I guess as long as they share the ammo. So,
They moved like a yard or
what do you
two
got?
to
You
the
got a
left of where they were.
3-inch?
Two-
Alright, so
248
you're
on
fine
the-
on ammo. But the other Napoleon is down to canister, so that means they're going to bleed through all that ammo pretty quickly. So reinforcements arrive. Yeah, I would say this is probably past the point of no return for the Union trying to play cap recap and fall back and force the early cap. The CSA is almost half a morale stage ahead of them, and once they go breaking, they have to hang out by the point. But I can understand why you wouldn't want to play cap recap. I think the way you'd have to do it is they force this CSA out there, lean on your artillery to blow them up, and then just try to force it back through the woods, and then come through the caissons and go in that way. But that seems like a tall order because the CSA would know it, and they would probably clog up these woods and make it difficult. And you know, artillery's lethality is not what it once was, and so I don't think you're going to be able to rely on them to kill them. Soften them up before the infantry goes in. I think the Union probably have a lot of people on artillery, let's say. Let's see, CSA has a grand total of 7. The Union has a grand total of 18, so it's plus 11 for the Union, and they're down by 10. So that means in the infantry fights, I really wasn't paying attention to what I just said, but I think they're down by more than 20. So for the Union to win those, it's going to be rough. They would really need all the artillery to be on point at once, and then they might have a slight advantage. I don't think you need to be worried about that. I think CSA is going to come in and try to farm some out of formation tickets. This guy's still trying to finagle things. It's a good shot by the arty officer, knocking down the CSA infantry officer. But that's breaking. That's the end of the dream. As long as the CSA is reasonably disciplined with their flags, they should be able to bleed the Union to last in if they have to. Union's going to come in here, flag bearer. Oh, level 2 flag bearer. Will he make the right call? He's going to do about as well as probably any of us would have done as a level 2 flag bearer. Actually, he's doing worse because he's going in the wrong direction. But there you go. Now he's got it. Give him some advice.
Spit on the flag, spit on it.
All right. So that's that. Yeah, them there. Oh, wow, we got 2 CSA companies back here.
Move it up, move it up, move it up. Show in the right here, to the right. On this line, independent fire front. Independent fire.
Well, we'll hang out at the edge of the... Oh, these guys are in the wrong line. They don't even know. They're not facing the right direction.
Gentlemen, let's go. Gentlemen, let's go. Flag, you're staying here. Flag, sneak rider, you're staying here. Go, boys, go. Charge in. You know, kill those guys. Kill Joseph.
This could go terribly for the CSA if they lose their flags. I don't know. Seemed like it went okay. My guess is even if the CSA lost their flags, they would regroup at spawn, and then they would just come back and just charge until their flags respawn. And at this point, they can go 50-50 or even a little bit worse and push the Union last in. This is a very deep flag. In fact, is that flag bearer? If it gets too bad, you probably just look to run it out of bounds and get the quick respawn there.
companies get out here. 4 companies get out here. Your CEO's not here. We're pulling back. We're pulling back. We're pulling back. Yep, everyone pull back.
Yeah. And so you've lost the woods. Your artillery guys are going to be a huge liability because now the artillery guys are just going to get run up on. Someone's got to tell them, dudes, it's time to stop playing already. If you could get a caisson or 2 out, and I don't think you could, you know, start rolling it back. Maybe everybody just grab a shell and run back to the friendly artillery. But yeah, these guys are just, they're going to be ticket donors. Big part of artillery, I guess it's not similar to skirmishing in a lot of ways, but you gotta know when to run, and you'll realize the longer you play the game, it's usually much earlier than you think. You usually think, oh, I got a lot of time to get out. You really don't. If you want to get out, particularly get out before you get shot. It means they got a fence, but the CSA is going to get fixed caissons, mobile caissons, the woods to fall back into. And this'll work till it doesn't.
Get that flag up. Get the flag up. Yo, bro. What's up?
Whole other CSA infantry company out here, which could probably now come up unopposed over here and just put flanking fire into this group that's on here and force them to either
Pull back. We're taking too much fire. Pull to the right. Pull to the right.
and force them to either stand out in the open field and get shot or just take the shots and not return fire. Yeah, but by pulling back, this now allows the I mean, there's nothing else you can do, but the CSA is just going to walk themselves up. You're just going to give up tickets. Yeah, you got to know when to pull back here. And the CSA can leapfrog, bound forward, and make themselves extremely hard to remove. Then you can do this. This is the old lead wall, and it's pretty much all you got. Oh my goodness. I wonder if the CSA gets healthy, if they're gonna push through the woods and then try to pop out. Looks like the Union's trying to get ahead of that by putting something in there before the CSA just comes flying out. Huh. It was hard to see much of anything. It didn't look like too many Union were dropping. I mean, for the number that were here, there aren't that many corpses. There's been so much combat over here, I won't make much of this. We know that there's, what, 1 or 2 Union companies? Yeah, Pieman, Joseph D. They're probably going to look for melee when they get the opportunity. Probably just trying to figure out where everything is. What is this? What is this little side action?
Fire, guys. You see that tree left of the artillery? Keep fire, boys. Keep fire.
I guess this is to preserve tickets and defend the backside. Yeah, I wonder if you destroy the... I don't know if there's any natural gap, but if you destroy the fence early, given how well the Union defended this and how I think problematic that position is, if you rolled enough of the artillery back here, can you make a kind of caisson wall on the back side of this? And even if not that, an additional lead wall, or get canister loaded in a bunch of guns and provide extra. But the Union's about to go last stand, and so it was good up until this point, but they need the clock to be at about 1 or 2 minutes and 45 seconds rather than 8 minutes and 45 seconds. So who knows They're probably moving up because they're down to canister. That's out of everything. That's got a ton of ammo. Maybe they brought it in from somewhere else. That looks
Still
like it's out
short.
of
The
ammo.
fuse is the issue. It keeps air
And that-
bursting
so they
over
are,
our battery.
They needed another. I think they need another 12-pound case on, right?
It's impressive we haven't gone last stand yet, but it would be anything.
That is all correct. Is this the same group that's been out here the whole time? Oh no, it's gotten much larger. By much larger, I mean from 3 guys to like 10, but they're still hitting their shots. Yeah, that is not the way to deal with this. But I guess if you just want to go to spectator, this makes sense. So for those with ears to listen, eyes to see, don't lose this if you're the unit. It doesn't look like much, but it could be if your defense ends up being those fixed caissons on the backside of point. Yeah, I think there is a play there, maybe for fortifying this. Yeah. Well, I said earlier it didn't look like they took too many shots. Well, they have definitely taken far more shots now.
Let's take home. Back up, guys. Back up. Let's go. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Come on, guys.
Yeah, but the CSA is just gradually
Yeah, the best thing we can do.
pinching off the angles to
gosh dang
point.
it. Yeah, we're cooked. We're cooked. We're cooked, Chad. We're
Yep.
cooked, Chad. We're cooked. We're cooked. I know. Just charge. Gentlemen charge. Gentlemen charge.
Not sure what the CSA is going for here. Do they? Oh, they're trying to shoot off those guys. Well, those guys have to come up if the CSA starts to cap. Well, that is a zealous flag bearer.
Get this fucking flag guy.
Well, that's all she wrote. That, it's the first one I've seen from this angle, so. Yeah, it was interesting. I think that there might be some ways to play that as the Union, but it looks rough for the defender, as it so frequently is in War of Rights. I mean, defenders play this better than I've seen defenders play this a lot recently. Sorry, I just mean play defense. They're, at least not losing on casualties and not egregiously ahead in Adeline and skirmishing. But the thing is, they're just not far enough ahead. Yeah, casualties are almost even. Adelines and skirmishing are almost dead even. In this game, the tick advantage goes to the attacker for reasons I get, but yeah, defenders just can't lose that much, and Union definitely had the leadership that round. It was good enough to get the job done. I don't know. Might be the terrain. It might have been the map. It might. I don't know that it was too many men in Artie. I know a lot of people have disagreed when I say that that's frequently a cause of losing. I stand by it. I think that having too many men in artillery is a bad thing. It's one of those things. It's great to have 2 and 3 men operating a cannon, particularly if the gunner knows what he's doing. Just keep that thing fed and just keep it firing as much as you can. But I think when you take too many away from the line, even on these bigger maps where it's not, right, it's a much bigger deal when you have just small servers and you can't fit everybody in. But yeah, anyways, it was interesting, and hopefully we'll do this again soon.